Good Tuesday evening. Hope you're doing well. Parashat Shoftim, we're going to be reading the Shabbat, and it talks about the very horrible thing known as war. War is terrible. It's a terrible thing. And as Jews, we pray for that day that war would be something of the past. Now, it is human nature that during a battle and during a war, behaviors that would be unacceptable at normal times suddenly become close to the norm. And people, unfortunately, when their mission is to kill, they turn into animals. Judaism doesn't want that. Torah recognizes that at times war is necessary, but don't turn into a chaya, don't turn into an animal. Retain your human dignity. And among the many mitzvot that are stated addressing this concept is that the Torah tells us that when you go out to the battlefield, and perhaps there's a tendency to destroy anything that is present there, to blow up bridges, destroy property, even that which is not really needed as part of the strategy to be victorious. Nevertheless, you the Jew, remember, lo tashchit et etzabi, sure, not to destroy a fruit tree, because humans live off it. It is needed for humans. Do not destroy that which serves a purpose for the human being. This is what the Torah tells us at the end of Parshat Shoftim. And the rabbis derive from it a concept, a law that is known as Baal Tashchit. Don't destroy that which is needed. Okay? And this is a halacha that we don't destroy things. We have a great sensitivity, by the way, not to destroy or uproot or cut a fruit tree. And in general, things are not to be destroyed if there is a purpose, if there is a use for the human being. Now, the Talmud actually talks about a situation where a person destroys something, burns something to keep himself warm. And one of the students turns to the rabbi who destroyed the property, right? Created a bonfire to stay warm during a very cold winter night. And the student asks the master, wait a second, have you not violated Baal Tashchit? And he said to him, you should know, Baal Tashchit de Gufa Adif. In other words, you know what's more important than respecting and preserving and taking care of items that could be useful for a human? You know what's more important than that? The actual human being. And therefore the Talmud notes, if let's say there is something that's unhealthy for you and you could eat something healthier, don't worry about the food that's going to waste, because Baal Tashchit of your body is more important. Now sometimes I wish I would have known this as a child, because based on this concept that more important than not wasting food is not to waste the human, when I was a child and I would put food on my plate, and my mother would say to me, you better finish everything on your plate. And at some point I didn't want to, and in the olden days we had to listen to our parents, and I was forced to. It's a pity I couldn't state what the Talmud tells us, Baal Tashchit de Gufa Adif, meaning you're concerned about the welfare of the food, be more concerned about my body. I simply can't eat it. I wasn't aware of it, but now I do know. Take care of your body. Now, there's a very important lesson there. When we focus on doing mitzvot, right? When we focus on using the physical world for good things, we have to remember that the most important entity to do good is self. In other words, I have to take care of myself. I have to feel that I have value. If I value that little bit of food and I don't want to waste it, if I value that item and I don't throw it out because perhaps it could be used by someone else, how much more so is it important that I value myself? Every human being has to recognize how great they are, how incredible living is, and what they have within themselves, a neshama, a soul, right? A little bit of God within them. and how much good we could do while we are alive. Let's do it. And let's recognize that we must, just as we treat the property with respect, let's treat ourselves, right? Self-value is fundamental. If I want to do good, I have to know that I have value. It is fundamental at all times, and especially as we are already in the spirit of Elul, Yamim Noraim, and we want to go ahead and achieve the max during this incredible season, let's start off with self-value. I once pointed out to one of my children that if you're driving on a highway and you see a car that's all banged up, you have to be careful, because they might swerve into your lane because they're not concerned about their car, right? If the car is in good shape, they don't want to scratch it or damage it. If on the other hand, it is scratched and damaged, so they're less concerned about themselves. And so too with humans, right? We have to value who we are. When we value ourselves, boy, we could do some incredible things, which we are doing. It should be a good evening to all, and thank you for listening. Bye-bye.